live. Now it's 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock.
It was only 1:59 when we started. Kenneth is too punctual. He's too on it today. Oh, look at that. I'm on delay. Hi, guys. Happy Sunday. Kenneth and I were just sitting here going, we're so tired because it was such a beautiful, beautiful sun here today in Costa Rica. Apologies to anyone watching up in the north where it's snowy. But we were talking festive food fun today here at Rythmia. Look at this. Like, let's just have a moment. You are up there in Canada, my friends. Allow this beautiful palm tree blue sky. Allow this to just warm your soul for a moment. We're heading into middle of December already. That means what? What is today's date? The 16th?
16, yes.
So we're coming up on the winter solstice, which will be the shortest day of the year. In the holiday season already, for a lot of us, I've been seeing on all of the social media, a bunch of my friends back home posting pictures of various holiday parties, ugly sweater parties. Oh my goodness, I was in Canada. We have spoons, yes. I was in Canada just last week and went into a vintage store, and there were so many people there trying on the ugly sweaters obviously they're going to ugly sweater parties, ugly Christmas sweater parties. Oh, and by the way, so I was just telling someone this. It's Sunday here with me, so of course we have a lot of guests that are checking out and a lot of guests that are checking in. One of the guests I was just talking to, she asked me, she's like, oh, so I saw you were in Canada last week. Are you heading back anytime soon? I said, yeah, I'm heading back to Canada next week on Christmas Eve. I'm flying back. And she's like, oh, what was it like when you were there last week? I said, oh, it's cold. So cold, and I'm so not used to it being cold. I'm so unused to the snow that I was driving my rental car in London, Ontario last Friday night, and it was snowing. Not bad, but it was snowing enough. If you've ever driven in snow, you know the feeling. When it's super dark outside, it was 11 o'clock at night, the snow is like coming towards you with your headlights. It feels like you're flying through space, like all these stars are flying at you. I was so paranoid. It's been 6 years since I drove anything like that. I was going 46 in a 50 zone, and I got pulled over by the cops for driving too slow. I've never been more legal in my life. I had not been drinking, I was not underage, I had not taken part in any drugs, I had not done any shoplifting, and I was driving 46 in a 50. I was like, I laughed. I was like, my mom would laugh because I've never been so legal. Anyways, when the cop pulled me over and I opened my window, I just explained to him, I said, I live in Costa Rica, and I'm not used to driving in this, and he kind of just laughed and let me go. But how funny is that? Have anyone else ever been pulled over for going too slow? Like literally, I was driving too slow. Okay, let's see who's watching, shall we? Jody's saying hi. I made your chocolate mousse. My kids loved it. Oh, super fun, Jody. Gil is watching, saying what's up. Hope all is well. So cool. Greetings from Temecula, California. See you January 13th, says Jeanette. That's fun. Can't wait. So here at Rythmia, we are here again. Last week we had Taita from Colombia, and his whole crew here had an amazing week of medicine ceremonies. This week we have an awesome crew. I think we're sold out again this week. We have our guest speaker this week is Lama Palden, who is going to be speaking about Buddhist teachings in our workshop series this week, which is super fun. I'm excited about that. And then next week we're closing again, so we get a little 5-day break for the holidays. So very excited about that. And then we're back December 30th, open again full force for the new year. I think we're pretty busy all January, right, Kenneth? Probably still some spaces if you want to book in. We've got some amazing workshop series happening in the new year. Make sure you tune in whenever Jerry does Facebook Lives. He usually does them Tuesday mornings these days, I think. He's always talking about the upcoming workshops and guests that we're having, so it's cool to keep your ear to the ground with that. Louise saying hello. So shall we get on with some food? What time is it? I can't see. It doesn't matter. It's 2 something time. What time is it? It's food o'clock. 2:04. It's festive food o'clock.
Yeah.
So this is going to be my last Facebook Live for a while because I'm taking the next 2 weekends off for the holidays. Jerry, the lovely man that he is, has gifted me the holidays, the 23rd and the 30th, and we'll be doing a live. So I wanted to get some festive food in here. So I think I'm going to do 3 recipes today. some sweet and some savory. And I'm gonna start off with one of my favorite things. And when I was just in Canada last week, I bought it in the carton, vegan eggnog. So, I mean, I don't know about any of y'all, but eggnog, the flavors of eggnog just bring me back to holidays of yore, like when I was growing up. Two things, eggnog and my Aunt Gail's homemade Baileys. Any of my Pearson family, if you're watching, you know what I'm talking about. My Aunt Gail used to make the most incredible homemade Baileys. And if not what Baileys is, it is a creme liqueur, like an Irish cream booze that's made with like real cream. You put it, I used to put it in my coffee. It's really nice on ice. My Aunt Gail Pearson used to make that from scratch, and it was so good. We would drink our weight in it every Christmas, Pearson Christmas. But eggnog is another great thing, and I, since going vegan, 7, 8 years ago, which I'm not anymore, but I was back then, vegan eggnog thing that I really enjoy. So we're gonna make a real quick version of that today, just in our blender. So let's get to it, shall we? Before I get pouring things into the blender, one of the ingredients is going to be coconut milk. And here at Rythmia, we make our own coconut milk from the coconut meat. How many coconuts in a week like this do we crack every day, Kenneth?
Per day it's like 400 to 500.
400 or 500 coconuts a day. Oh, by the way, Kenneth, say hello.
Hello.
There's my Kenneth. Haven't had my Kenneth with me in a while. Oh my God, 400 to 500 coconuts a day. We're literally out there with a machete. Not me. They don't trust me with the machete. One of my guys from the kitchen, Jeremy, is one of them. Jeremy, come on, come say hello, venga. Jeremy is one of the.
This is the machete guy.
He's the machete guy.
Jeremiah.
How are you?
Jeremiah, los hablo como todos los días cuando hay mucha gente.
Mucho machete.
400, no, 400.
500 people.
Ajá, 500 people todos los días, ¿verdad? Con un machete muy grande. And his músculos muy grande. With his big machete and his big muscles. He's cracking all the coconuts. ¿Tienes una pregunta?
No, ya lo brownie.
All right. Excelente. So, hoy me voy a utilizar leche de coco aquí más fácil. But we normally make the homemade coconut milk using the meat, because when we cut the coconuts open, the 500 coconuts, we take the water to serve in our unlimited coconut water and pineapple juice bar here with me, but then we use the meat. There's usually a tiny bit of baby coconut flesh, and if you go back in time, I did do a whole Facebook Live about coconut a while back, where I show you more about that, but today we're using the can, because most of y'all, I'm guessing, are at home cracking coconuts. But next to the machete, I'm going to use a big knife to open my can, because I don't know if any of you guys have ever worked in a commercial kitchen, but can openers are not really a thing. So I'm just using my knife. I don't recommend this at home. This is how I am going to open my... Look at that. So 2 little holes. Are you showing this, Kenneth? My very specific... You didn't even show how I did that? Don't look at me. You don't need to show me.
Make one more egg. One more egg.
All I did was I stuck my knife in and like this. I know you love to look at my beautiful face, Kenneth, with the camera. But there we go. If you're ever in a pinch with a can opener, this is how we do it here in Costa Rica, Pura Vida. And then look at that. Oh, it's kind of going to come out. All of our holes. Whoop. Here. Watch your fingers. Look at that. So apparently these bowls of ours are 14-ounce bowls. Little fact. 14-ounce can, 14-ounce bowl. All right, let's go see what's going on over here. Anyone walking? Anyone? Hi, gorgeous. Hi, Johnny Fast. So good to see you. Let's see. Becky Van Allen says, I'll see you all in the new year for sure. Awesome. Linda saying hi. So good to see you again too, Linda. Yeah, we're getting a holiday break. Super excited about that. Christina saying yum. Johnny. Linda saying vegan, plant-based, woohoo. Yeah, that's what we're up to today. Randy's watching. Denise is saying hello to both us, me and you, Kenneth.
Hi, Denise.
Elliot. Tammy saying I like mixing the coconut and pineapple juices. Yes, I like to call that the pina colada.
Virgin.
Yeah, virgin pina colada. Because definitely we don't serve the rum, but doing half coconut and half pineapple.
Yeah.
Yes. Spanglishing. I was like, what word is English and what's Spanglish? Okay, So, into our blender. We're gonna start with that. We're gonna not start with the coconut, I'm gonna start with another couple of ingredients. First one is about a cup of cashews, and I have toasted, unsalted cashews here today. Raw would be really good. I personally like the taste of toasted cashews better. I feel like for certain capacities. If I'm doing a raw cheesecake, I'm 100% raw. But for something like this, I like the cooked taste. So I'm using a cup of those. Then I'm gonna add in my 14 ounces of coconut milk. Yummo. More flavor for sweet, we're gonna add in about 6 little dates, and these are just pitted dates. And before I tossed each of them in, I'm just gonna give them a quick squeeze to make sure that they are in fact pitted, because even when we buy pitted dates, quite often they still have a pit in them. Kenneth, by the way, you've got coconut milk on your hand underneath the phone. Do I have a, here, do you want me here? I'll give you a paper towel. It's gonna get a little bit sticky. It's on your hand, do you see it?
Got it?
You got it? Here, just in case there's any on the phone. That's like be the least of stuff that's been all over that phone. I use that phone in the kitchen. It's so sticky all the time. Okay, so what do we got in here so far? Cashews, coconut, and dates. Then we're gonna add in some flavor. What is the typical flavor of eggnog? Nutmeg. So this is a whole. Water's going bonkers here. Turn that down. This is nutmeg. So good, and I like buying it in the whole seed, and then using my microplane. So you just, so good. And this is like a holiday taste, if you ask me. And I'm gonna be generous with it. I'm just gonna show you what that looks like. So using my microplane, see that? And that's just beautiful. Nuez de moscado?
Moscada.
Nuez de moscado?
Nuez moscada.
Nuez moscada. Spanish for nutmeg. This also, when I smell this, reminds me of my grandma's turnips. She would do turnips with a white bechamel with nutmeg in it. Nutmeg also, obviously, because it is an ingredient in any sort of bechamel sauce. We do a cashew bechamel for the lasagna here that I serve, and nutmeg. Such a key ingredient in bechamel. So good. Okay, what other flavors do we want to add in here? Why not add a bit of cardamom? If you have watched me or been to Rythmia, you know I use this secret ingredient in quite a few things. I use it in my golden milk, I use it in the cardamom cookies, just a tiny bit because it's super powerful. And I've also got another seasonal delight, ground ginger. So I'm gonna add in a pinch of that. And then the last seasonal flavoring, clove. This is another, like, I stick my nose in there and I think gingerbread. Cloves and molasses. Ooh, so good. So I'm gonna put that in there. So excited! Okay, then we're gonna add a bit of water because I've got 14 ounces of that coconut milk in there, and then I've got all those cashews. So if I just blended this up right now, it'd get pretty thick. So I'm gonna add in about 1.5 cups of water. And this is gonna be really thick and rich and delicious. So here we go onto the blender. And if you were gonna do this at home and you didn't have a high-powered blender, just your regular blender, I would soak the nuts for like 8 hours just to soften them so they blend nice, because we're not gonna strain this. What's going on? Hello? Why is it not working? Bueller, is this thing on? Was it working before? This has happened to me once on live television. If you go to my website, I was doing breakfast television in Toronto and I went to make hummus. And wow. Oh, we didn't have a power! We gotta turn the power button on, kids, before the blender's gonna work. Thank you, Kenneth. But I was doing breakfast television and none of the outlets. We tried like 3 different ones, none of them worked, so we had to fake it. There we go. typically go even longer than that because the dates take a while to break down. And I like to make it so it's almost warm, like so then I can sip on it freshly blended and it'd be warm, like serving a warm eggnog, but we're not gonna go that far today. But it feels pretty warm actually to touch because I did let that go pretty long. My mother just joined us. She says, hello, see you soon. Hello, Terry Pearson. Did you hear me? I was just talking about Aunt Gail's homemade Baileys and Grandma's, was it Grandma? Who was it that used to always make turnips for the Pearson Christmas with white bechamel sauce with lots of nutmeg? Was that Grandma's recipe? I was just reminiscing about those things if you didn't catch it. Kenneth, we're gonna have some eggnog. What do you think about that? So good. Look at that. This looks like a holiday eggnog mug. But before we try it, I'm gonna do a little bit of this. If I had some cinnamon, I would toss some cinnamon on top too, but look at that. So good. Here you go, darling. Cheers. Happy holidays.
Cheers, everybody.
So good, right?
Muy bueno.
Excuse me. I'm just kidding. It's so good and it's warm, hey? And it's so thick and rich from the coconut milk and the cashews. This would be like a good morning smoothie. And scene, I am done. Pierce, my mom says that was Oma's recipe. Oh! So the turnip recipe was my Oma, so it was my mom's recipe, but she would make it for my dad's family Christmas. There we go. So good. I was just talking about how nutmeg. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start the base to a dessert. So we've got our eggnog, and what's good with eggnog but some sort of peppermint delight. So I was super excited. This week, I went into the local grocery store and I managed to find, here in Costa Rica, candy canes. One of my favorite little snackaroonies this time of year. And one of my favorite things, favorite flavor combinations, especially this time of year, is chocolate and mint. So good. So we're gonna make some raw vegan chocolate brownies, candy cane brownies. Doesn't that sound fun? So I don't know why this is actually going to be for the topping, so I don't need to be going too crazy with that right now. But so I'm very excited that I found these in town. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to work on the base of our brownie. So I've got my food processor out for this. So today you'll see we're using the blender, we're using a hot plate, and we're using the food processor here. So the base for this raw vegan brownie is quite simple. Typically my recipe calls for almonds and walnuts or pecans as the base, but today we're going to be substituting just based on what we had on hand. So we are going to start with almonds, and we need about a cup of almonds, and I'm just going to be tossing all this stuff into my food processor. I'm going to put about a cup of those sliced almonds in there, and I'm using sliced just because that's what I had open in the kitchen. You could use whole almonds, you would just need to process a little bit more. And then instead of the walnuts or the pecans, I'm going to have to sub in cashews because that's what I have on hand. So I'll put in all of that. You need about 2 cups total nuts. And typically in this recipe I use dates, but I'm using half dates and half raisins here as my binding agent. So I've got about 2 cups worth here of dates and raisins. I'm going to toss those in. So that's going to be our sweetener and our binding agent. The other thing I'm going to add in for our mint flavor in the base is fresh mint, because normally I would use like a peppermint, an organic peppermint extract, but I just couldn't find any locally here in Costa Rica, so I figured, well, I always have fresh mint, like spearmint, on hand in the kitchen, so I'm going to chop some of this up real fine and just toss it right in. And I'm just giving it a quick toss to just help the food processor so it doesn't have to do all the work. There you go, about 2 tablespoons, a little bit less. And then cacao powder, so about 5 tablespoons. It's gonna get loud again, and we have to let this come together enough that it can be like a raw dough. gotten. I'm gonna go a little bit further. This is as far as we've gotten so far. It smells minty, it smells good, but we wanna get this so that it's gonna be something that we can press into our pan. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm actually gonna add a titch of water. Oh, this is like coconut water, that's fine. That'll just help bring it together a little bit. My friends. And you know what? I think I actually had in my recipe that we were going to add water and I just didn't do it. So I got my vegan eggnog recipe, check. And then the peppermint brownies, I did say 1/2 cup of water. I just didn't do it. I never follow my recipes. So there we go. We added in about 1/2 cup of water and now we've got an amazing paste. So I'm going to grab my, look at that. Chocolate pasty goodness. And it smells like chocolate mint. So good. I'm just going to make a spoon. Thank you, Kenneth. And then I've got here just a 9x5 little pie baking pan here. And I'm not even gonna line this with parchment. Actually, I am. Just because it'll just be more easeful, and I have a piece here, so I'm just going to put this parchment paper in here. We're not baking this, it's just going to go in the oven, so you don't have to worry about too much overhang. Plunk that dough in the middle here. This is like a freezer refrigerator set brownie, so we're not baking it. Yum, yum, yum. That's gonna get. Scrape that down. And then what I do have is I have a rubber glove that's gonna be a handy dandy. I'm just gonna get that a little bit wet. And this is just gonna help me, look at that. With a little wet rubber glove, just super helpful for this type of sticky task. We have this super sticky date raisin dough with a slightly wet rubber glove. Make short work of pressing it down into the pan. Just these really thin brownie bites. Because this is like a little energy bite actually with all the ingredients that are in there. It's just going to be really intense. Little hit of energy. So then we just take that and we'll dump it in the put it in the refrigerator to just let it set for a minute when we get the topping going. So once again, dun 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 dun. Smells like Christmas. So here in the middle of the counter, what I have going on here is double boiler action. So underneath, I have a little pot with water in it, and then on top I've just got this silver bowl with dark chocolate and a bit of coconut oil. So it's probably about a cup, about a cup's worth of my favorite dark chocolate bar that I've just chopped up and added into this metal bowl with about a tablespoon of coconut oil. You can see I've just had it melting down so it's super soft. And I'm just gonna dry off the bottom of my bowl because anytime you're dealing with chocolate, you just wanna be careful that water doesn't get involved because it can make the chocolate seize up. So I'm just giving it a quick dry. I'm gonna set that off to the side. So this is gonna be part of our topping. And the other part of our topping is going to be this amazing candy cane. And all we need to do for this, is to mash it. As much as I was thinking a knife might be a good idea, I think maybe just banging it with the bowl. We could put it in the Vitamix if the Vitamix was clean. Maybe I do need to use scissors. Kids, don't try this at home. Or a Ziploc bag actually would be really good. But this will do the trick. It's kind of sticky because it's so humid here. I think that'll work. Kenneth is making a suggestion. Oh, this smells so yummy, these peppermint. Kenneth's telling me I should try doing it between 2 cutting boards. We're going to try that next. I got 2 canes out. We got 2 canes to do this with. This is ridiculous. It's really quite silly. I have this one. It's still in the plastic. Maybe that's the secret. Ready? I need a hammer. This is working. Yeah. Gets out your aggression too. Ah! Look at that. You're so smart, Kenneth. So many reasons why Kenneth's here on the team at Rythmia. He's a lot more intelligent than I am when it comes to certain things. Okay, so shall we do another? Yeah, I think we should do one more. Because that was kind of fun. Not gonna lie. So I'm gonna take a bowl. So then if you're doing this at home, obviously you gotta make sure you remove all the plastic. No one wants to be eating their brownie and pulling plastic out of their teeth. Look at that. Oops. So good. Super slick. I bet you my mom has good ideas about how she would smash candy canes. More of a whiz in the kitchen for this type of stuff. Oh, look at that. As I say that, I look over. Mom says, Ziploc and a knife handle or hammer works best. And I know she would be giving me suggestions. Well, I don't have any Ziplocs handy right now, so this violent technique is going to have to do the trick. It's totally doing the trick, though. Awesome. All right. We got our 2 candy canes smashed to smithereens. This just smells like Christmas. Makes me very happy. You could serve that eggnog in a mug like mine with candy canes stuck in it. That would be pretty. Pretty sure candy canes are vegan unless they have like red dye made from beetles or something in them, which they could potentially. I don't remember the number, but there's a dye, a food dye, a red one that is made from like some kind of a beetle. I'd be okay with that. Ah! 3rd degree chocolate burn! I don't even know how that happened. But look, I got chocolate on my leg, and on my hand, and on my shorts all of a sudden.
Your hand.
Oh my good lord. This is why sometimes whenever I'm in the kitchen, they have to follow me around with a broom. Oh, and I haven't, look at that. Oh, I'm such a disaster. I always smell like the holidays in chocolate. This is a lesson. I didn't wear my apron today, and this is what I get. Okay. All right. Hi, Alex. He says, Meg, you're amazing. Thank you. John Scott popping by for a few stolen minutes at a double birthday bash. Wow, John, you're watching us while you're at a party? I love that. Thanks for popping in and seeing me make a big mess of myself with chocolate. Worst things you can have all over your body. I'm not going to list any. Just going to take a sip of my nutmeg before I tell dirty things. Okay. Time lapse 30 minutes. Let's pretend our brownie has been in the fridge for 30 minutes, so it's nice and firm. Not that it really matters. But now all we gotta do is we gotta take our chocolate. And honestly, I should have done double the amount of chocolate. I'm a chocoholic. So I would love to have a thick layer of chocolate on top, but look at that. So this is just, again, like you could do 1 standard dark chocolate bar broken into pieces with a tablespoon of coconut oil. The coconut oil just helps thin it out a little bit so it pours and spreads nicely. Scrape that all out. And then using the back of my spoon. And this is a great little potluck dessert. You just got to make sure you keep it stored somewhere cool. Even in the freezer is best. Like I like serving it fresh from the freezer. It's just really refreshing with the peppermint and everything. Here, Kenneth, you want to look at that spoon?
Sorry.
So then we got our chocolate on top, and then we just take our little candy canes and just let it rain peppermint sticks. Letting it rain. So you got the little bit of the mint, the spearmint inside the brownie base, if you recall, that fresh mint flavor. Then we have this delicious candy cane powder on top. Some broken pistachios would be really nice on top of this for some green, for some red and green Christmas color. And I've also got here some grated coconut. So just another nice texture, kind of like snow, and a really nice flavor. We got that coconut oil, there'll be a hint of coconut oil flavor in that melted chocolate on top, and then a nice little bit of coconut from that. And then you just let that set in the refrigerator or the freezer, and then chop it up into your pieces as you're ready to serve. What do you think?
Delicious.
Delicious, right? Chocolate is always worth it. It doesn't qualify as a mess or have calories. John? Amen, my friend. Like your style. So back in the freezer we go, under here, and we're gonna talk about the next dish, which is our appetizer. So we got your beverage for the party, the holiday party. We got your dessert for the holiday party. Let's get back talking to the appetizer. Would you like some more, Kenneth?
Yep.
Kenneth's already finished his eggnog. No, nutnog. Nutnog. I want a little bit more too.
Cheers.
Cheers, salute, to good health. Okay, so appetizer, cheese logs. That's a holiday festive thing. So what I've got here is a cashew sunflower seed cheese log that I've had setting in the refrigerator for a few hours. And what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you how to make the actual cheese real quick. No, I'm not, I'm just gonna show you the ingredients because I need the food processor for it and I don't wanna wash it. So I'm gonna show you the finished product, which is a cheese log made of cashews and sunflower seeds. And it was the easiest thing in the world. Look at that. Cheese log. You can see there's a bit of, it's a soft, cheesy texture. There's a bit of texture in it because I left some of the sunflower seeds in chunks, so there'll be a crunchy texture to it. Reminiscent of, say, the shattering of Parmesan in your mouth, if you will. And all the recipe ingredients for this was really simple. It was literally just sunflower seed. So hulled sunflower seed. The juice of half of a lemon. This is the lemon, remember, not an orange. This is what they look like here. A bit of garlic powder. Cashews. And just some Himalayan sea salt. That was all that I put in that. And then I put it in the food processor, which was this machine here, and blended it up with a tiny bit of water, just the tiniest bit of water, just to get it blending to like a creamy cheese-like texture. And then, I didn't want it too wet. I wanted it, you know, moist enough that it would all blend, but firm enough that I could roll it into a log. So this is our log. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna decorate this, and then we're gonna cut it in half, and you're gonna see what's up. So, what task do we have ahead of us now? Figuring out what we want to put on the outside. So I grabbed today some rosemary, some cranberries. So these are just dried cranberries. Some almonds. And turmeric. And one orange. I know it's confusing. My lemon looks like an orange and my orange looks like a big old lime. But I'll cut it open for you afterwards. But we're just gonna use the zest. Whoops! Paper in the chocolate. We're just gonna use the zest of this orange. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do a quick run through the cranberries and my almonds with my knife. Just because these would be too big, the chunks this big would not stick to our log. So I'm just running my knife. What do you think, Ma? Are you still watching? Does this sound like something that I could bring to the Pearson family Christmas next weekend? Do you think anyone would eat this stuff? I bet your cousin Linda would. She's into my weird plant-based, non-traditional fare. I do hope you make the turnips, Mom. Also, just putting in my requests to my mom for Christmas. So look at that, just real gentle like. Because I'm so graceful and gentle. Okay, So I'm just gonna let that, mix that up here on my board. Make sure I'm not getting candy canes in there because that would be weird. And then I'm just gonna lie that there. And then I'm gonna take a bit of rosemary off the stem here and give it a little quick mince. Not too much because fresh rosemary is quite strong. So I'm running out of space here. It's kind of awkward. Rosemary's all sticking to the cranberry remnants. There we go, good enough. And then I'm just gonna sprinkle my rosemary in with my cranberries and almonds. And I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit of this turmeric. Actually, I'm not gonna hold off on that. I'm gonna do my zest of my orange. So just the brightness of the orange zest with the earthiness of the rosemary, the crunch from the almonds, the sweet tartness from the cranberries. It's just gonna be really nice. And this would be a great thing, a great coating to put on a regular old cheese ball if you wanna do it with like yummy goat cheese. If you do like a regular like cheddar cheese ball. You know, this is a really festive combination, not only because of the flavor base that we got with all these different, like the cranberries and the orange, that screams holidays to me, but the color, you know, it's green and it's red with the rosemary and the cranberries, so good. Perfect. Then I'm gonna take my cheese log, and it feels pretty sticky because it's in the humidity here. So I'm just gonna sprinkle a bit of turmeric on there. And this is just really for color. Look at that. And then I'm gonna take my log, I'm gonna put it on one end of my pile of chopped goods. I'm just gonna start rolling it. And I'm doing a bit of pressure here because I want it to really pick up. Roll it back and forth, angles, trying to get as much of the open areas packed. Doesn't that look good? Look at that, Kenneth, what do you think?
Interesting.
Interesting. I haven't done a cheese log like this in a long time. And normally what I do is I would make a cashew cheese and I would ferment it overnight with like a probiotic in my dehydrator, but this I just wanted to show you guys you don't need to do that. You can just let it make the cashew, all these ingredients in your food processor, roll it into the log, and then just let it sit in the fridge long enough that it's firm enough to do this with and handle it. Okay, so I'm going to slice in the middle. Look at that. Look at that. Cheesy log. And I'm going to grab one of these. Oh, yeah, these. And then this is just a pretty way to display it. You put it on a cutting board like you would a regular cheese log. Look at that. Surround it with any of your favorite crackers. Dun, dun, dun. Carrot sticks, some figs, dried fruit, extra nuts. No, I mean, this is pretty nut heavy, so I don't know if you could put any extra nuts on your cheese plate, but hey, bada boom, bada bing. What do you think? Not bad, huh?
Not bad.
So we're gonna take a picture of that. Oh, it smells like Christmas. And then I'm kind of gonna eat some of that afterwards. And I'm gonna show you real quick this orange. I told you this was an orange. I ain't gonna lie. Green on the outside, citrusy delicious on the inside. All right, my friends, now that I got turmeric cans. Dibs on the bowl, says Jeanette. Terry says they would love it. They like apps, so there we go. I'll bring some funky plant-based food. Mom tells me she's making the twice-baked fruit and nut crackers today. Oh, so my mom does this amazing homemade cracker. If you're familiar with Raincoast Crisps, they're really like a fruit and nut heavy cracker. My mom makes her own version at homemade. Super good. Really good with all cheeses, if you ask me. Okay, so that's all I have today, my friends. We've gone 39 minutes somehow. I got right into it today too. I didn't like yammer on for 20 minutes about nothing, but we still managed to go 39 minutes. Join Dr. Jeff tomorrow night. He'll be doing his regular Facebook Live. Jerry will be doing one on Saturday, December 22nd, and then I think we're all taking a break until the new year. So I want to send all my love to everyone, sending love, light, and blessings to you and yours through the holiday season, whether you're celebrating Hanukkah, Christmas, whatever floats your boat. If you're just getting time off, celebrate the rest. And we look forward to seeing you in 2019. Kenneth, anything you want to say?
All my love and enjoying your Christmas. Be safe and don't drink too much.
Exactly.
Life is beautiful.
Life is beautiful. Don't drink and drive. Okay,
Ah.
love you guys. Bye.
Love
And
you.
don't drive too slow because you get pulled over for that
Exactly.
too. Bye, guys.